Members of the House Select Committee on Intelligence just came out of a classified briefing on these mysterious drones that have been spotted over New Jersey and points beyond. The sightings have been going on for more than a month now, pushing lawmakers to press for answers from the Biden administration. Let's bring in the top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee, Congressman Jim Himes of Connecticut. Congressman, thanks for joining us. So this was a classified briefing. What can you share, and are you satisfied with what you heard?
Yeah, thanks, Jake. It was a pretty comprehensive briefing, and I'm not sure that other than the details, much was classified. I'll tell you this, it was comprehensive in the sense that we had 28 representatives of the Department of Homeland Security, of the FBI, CIA, you name it, were there. And we established a few things. Number one, the chairman and I asked probably in 12 different ways, is any of this federal government operations? You know, there's a lot of rumor out there that this is radiation sniffing or chemical sniffing. This is not a federal government operation. We're very, very confident of that. And then we asked a lot of questions poking at the conclusions that the federal government has offered up. And there, maybe conclusions is a strong word, but again, there remains no evidence that there is any unlawful unidentified drone activity out there. And most of the people who have expertise in sort of thinking about and watching and mitigating the threats from drones are saying, in as much as they've been able to actually look at specific events, most of them turn out to be regular aircraft. Yes, some drones, recreational, commercial. People are seeing stars. You know, there's again no indication that there's any illegal activity or any particular danger or malign activity that is concerning that group of people.
Yeah, but doesn't saying no indication or no evidence of malign activity, isn't that kind of wordplay? I mean, there's no evidence or there's no evidence that there isn't nefarious activity as well, right?
Well, there is no evidence that there is nefarious activity. And Jake, we're talking about some of the busiest and most crowded skies on the planet, right? You've got, Newark Airport, LaGuardia Airport, JFK Airport, White Plains Airport, Teterboro Airport. You've got 800,000 registered drones in this country and many million more unidentified drones. So what I think they're never going to be able to say is that, yes, we looked at all 10,000 objects in the air over New Jersey over the last week, and we checked each and every one out, and not a single one of them is associated with any sort of nefarious activity. That's just not going to happen. But, just to maybe more directly answer your question, our intelligence community is pretty good. So, if the Chinese were undertaking a massive survey of the state of New Jersey, for whatever reason they would want to do that, there's a good chance that we would pick up some sign of that. And again, there is absolutely no sign of nefarious activity right here.
So today, the Biden administration issued a joint statement from the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, the Federal Aviation Administration, and the Pentagon. And together they say, quote, "We have not identified anything anomalous." And that was echoed by Admiral John Kirby today at the White House. Take a listen.
We have gone through 5,000 some odd sightings. We have added detection capabilities to the region. We've even sent up visual observers. And everything we're seeing to date, our assessment tells us that these are commercial drones, hobbyist drones, or law enforcement drones, all operating legally and lawfully.
So it's not just folks in the public questioning what they're seeing. I mean, we've also heard questions from people at military bases, from people at airports. Is there no good reason for them to question what they're seeing?
Well, again, there's no question that people are seeing things. Like I said before, this is probably the most crowded airspace on the planet, right? So of course people are seeing things. And by the way, they're seeing new things too, right? 10 years ago, there really weren't drones. 10 years ago, there were no Starlink satellites. I don't know about you, but it's only recently that I've been looking up in the sky and seeing a series of dots moving in parallel, right? So there's a lot of new stuff up there in addition to just plain a lot of stuff up there. The question that government has to worry about, though, is any of this stuff dangerous? Meaning it's the Chinese or the Iranians, meaning that it's, some criminal attempt to inflict harm on the people in New Jersey. And that's where there just is no evidence of anything going on. Now, I don't therefore want to tell you that this is not an issue, right? I mean, we have had any number of cases around the country and around the world of our adversaries using drone technology to try to surveil our sensitive military installations. There was an arrest out in California just recently of an alleged attempt to surveil the Vandenberg Space Force base out there. So there are very real dangers associated with drone use. If nothing else, you got something that is a little bit heavy circling over your head, but there's no indication that this is anywhere down the path of some of the more outlandish concerns that you've seen bubbling up around these sightings in New Jersey.
All right, Democratic Congressman Jim Himes, top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee. Thanks so much.